Equalism denounces and rejects all the mistakes in the past proposed and implemented by the left and right over the last 6,000 years. It brings political and economic thought into the 21st century. Equalism doesn't redefine anything. It resets their definitions to their original, unaltered meaning. Let's start with the concept of free marketism. It is not synonymous with capitalism. There's a difference between being market-driven and free markets. There's nothing free under capitalism, not markets, not people, or anything else. Free marketism has nothing to do with greed or the accumulation of wealth or property. With free marketism, you trade only for what you need for your daily survival and comforts. For instance, if you have a hammer you no longer need or use, you trade it to someone who needs that hammer in exchange for something you need. Or just give it to him because you no longer need or use it. Free marketism is reciprocal economics. You offer your goods and services in exchange for the goods and services of another. This can all be done socially as well as individually. But capitalism is a system that creates an elite that bases their very existence and self-worth on possessing and accumulating things they don't need, don't use, and don't even appreciate. The elite accumulate for the sake of accumulation and as a reflection of their social status. And free marketism is environmentally sound. It almost eradicates retail waste and trash, gets rid of designed obsolescence, throwaway economics, and ridiculous unnecessary plastic and paper packaging. It promotes social product sharing and availability and repairable, upgradable, reusable, and recyclable products. It allows consumers to alter and improve upon current products and offer these improvements to the marketplace. All this is what free marketism actually is, as proposed by John Locke in his Second Treatise of Government. But what we have is capitalism, where waste and trash increase profits, where profits are dependent on selling you things you'll just throw away later, or only use a few times, or reselling you the same items over and over due to designed obsolescence. And where both man-made and natural disasters, environmental exploitation and destruction, war, and creating human misery are seen as just opportunities to increase profits and make even more money for the elite that they don't need. The medical industry that the American Medical Association endorses is another example of the insanity of the relentless and greedy pursuit of profit that fuels capitalism. Goldman Sachs, one of the largest investment firms on the planet, is now openly advising medical corporations to refrain from curing disease because it decreases perpetual profit potential. To sustain and even cause human misery is an acceptable business model. But the reality is that's the very premise underlying capitalism. Furthermore, capitalism doesn't promote or protect private property. It promotes and protects elitist property and privilege. It doesn't protect your property, but it protects the ability of the elite to accumulate mass amounts of property at the expense of others and society as a whole. But the earth belongs to us all. We're all born with the natural right to own our equal share of the planet and call it our home. Equalism uses free marketism to protect your equal right to equal property. Your property won't belong to the state, the government, or the elite. It will belong to you for life, and no one can legally take it from you or, except under extreme and rare circumstances, remove you from it. Your property is your refuge, a protection of your privacy, your safety net from any potential social encroachments. Lastly, it's not socialism but capitalism that redistributes wealth. Through consumerism and taxation, it siphons money from you and the rest of the common and gives it to the elite to redistribute it as it pleases. Not only is the love of money the root of all evil, but evil is the root of all money. All monetary systems are artificial abstractions, not based upon the real world, and serve only to maintain an elitist hierarchy, their power and control. Capitalism is nothing but an extension of aristocratic, feudal, elitist rule, replete with all the elitist privilege, advantage, and corruption thereof. Free marketism, socialism, communism, and anarchy are a break from that perpetual corrupt system. The elite misrepresent these systems because they want the social divisions these misconceptions create. They want us divided into fear what will free us from them. So stop confusing free marketism with capitalist market profiteering. It doesn't matter if you nationalize business or privatize government. The elite win either way. The sole purpose of equalism is to democratize society, equalize social power, and protect individual rights and freedom by eliminating the elite ruling class, the oligarchy, the elite who dictate to all the common how they'll live. You can't have a political democracy without an economic democracy. Business oligarchy always leads to government oligarchy. Capitalism results in both big business and big government. Capitalism is moneyism, and moneyism is elitism, greed, corruption, and tyranny. Elitism is fascism, and capitalism is the economic system of the elitist fascist state. All elitist systems are fascist systems, and equalism calls them all predonomics. Predonomics encompasses all predatory systems, regardless of what history calls them, or what they're called by the elite within those systems. Equalism is strictly a non-elitist, non-authoritarian, non-predatory social system that encompasses politics and economics. If there's an elite, then equalism hasn't been achieved. And the definition of elitism extends to identity politics and group domination, whether that group is a minority or majority. In other words, equalism protects human rights by protecting individual rights, not the domination of one group over another. Imagine what we could accomplish if we used our tax dollars to pay soldiers not to kill people and destroy property, but to plant and harvest crops, build homes, and refurbish dilapidated buildings, schools, roads, and the entire social infrastructure. If all the armies of the world were redirected to build rather than to destroy, just imagine the world we would have. This is socialism. So when you create a society based upon mutual cooperation for mutual benefit, protect individual rights and private property, not one group's rights over another, elitist privilege, or the accumulation of property, that's communism. Remove the money, all monetary systems, remove greed motivation and the profit motive, and you'll eliminate the big government that protects big business and elitist interests. That's anarchy. All of these things can be accomplished. They can become reality. This is humanity's natural state. This is how we're supposed to be living. Not under the constant threat, constant stress, and constant fear of cutthroat competition and economic predation, but through the constant stability, constant comforts, and constant sanity of freedom, altruism, and cooperation. This is equalism. Democracy, individual rights, free marketism, socialism, communism, and anarchy all rolled into one. These are just a few of the primary principles of equalism, a new and unique philosophy I founded back in 2005. Equalism is not a leftist or rightist philosophy. It's a human philosophy that reconnects our species with our planet and the natural world. The elite misrepresent free marketism and socialism because they want us to fear what will free us from them. Despite what the elite tell us every day, the left and right are not enemies. It's time we stop listening to the divisive rhetoric the elite leadership on both sides keeps shoving down our gullets. So why do we, the overriding majority and mass of humanity, continue to allow this elitist insanity to dictate the conditions of human existence? The wrong people have been making the wrong decisions for humanity long enough. Wake up. We don't have to play this rigged and corrupt game. So stop playing it. Both the left and right do nothing but spew the same old failed ideas to deal with problems that have remained unresolved for over 6,000 years. We need a revolution of thought. With Equalism, I've brought political and economic concepts into the 21st century. It's time to start thinking differently rather than to keep repeating the same old mistakes over and over and expecting different results. Equalism offers new ideas and refreshing innovations in how we see the world, each other, and ourselves. Join me in the 21st century and let's fix this mess rather than just keep doing what we've been doing for centuries and watching things get worse. Help spread the word about equalism, and let's get this revolution started. And, as always, resist, refuse, revolt.